Damn. This camera angle. How do I fix that? Do I just get back? What's going on, YouTube? My name is Bill. Welcome to KO Bets. On this show, we've got to break down UFC 293 for the purpose of gambling. I'll make my picks and predictions for every fight. Before we get started, we're getting more subscribers. Upon hitting 100 subscribers, we'll do another NFT giveaway, a UFC strike moment. I think we're at 69 subscribers. For real. So actually, no more. No more. Don't need any more. We've got to go over. We had UFC Fight Night, Gane versus Spivak, over there in Paris. It's kind of crazy. The back-to-back cards, they were both early. Singapore was crazy early. I feel like it was dumb, but I watched that whole thing. All right, here we go. Recap. We took Cyril Gane via knockout. Yeah, gets it done early. Went with Mannion Fiora, but Rose Namajunas looked really good. She had that nasty dislocated finger. We're doing some apple juice. Thiago Moises taking on Benoit Saint Denis. This was a bad pick by me. I went the Thiago route. And Benoit he's just brutal. He's just got a brutal fight style, high pace. Really hurts his opponents and is super tough. Ozdemir gets the knockout. Oh, he got this submission of Guskov. We went with Ozdemir. I think he was only like minus 175 or something. Oh, here it is, minus 185. Felt like crazy odds. Bogdan just at one point in the fight looked super tired. Arms were dropped. William Gomez gets a KO round 3. I think I might have had this one going over 2.5, so I barely missed this. I remember by like 10 seconds, but that's not bad. Morgan Cherie, or whatever his name is, gets the round 1 knockout. Looked great. Went with the home cooking, right? When in doubt, go with the French person in France. Just trying to see if there's any others. I took Jocelyn Edwards. I thought she won that fight, but Nora gets the decision for Reed. Just went to work submitting Rodriguez, and then I went with Farron as my prediction, and she just didn't look good. Didn't have any answers in the stand-up. Tomorrow, which is going to be Sunday in Australia, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, taking on Strickland for the 185-pound belt. First fight of the night is Kevin Jousset taking on Kiefer Crosby. Kiefer Crosby coming in here out of Ireland. I think both of these guys are making their debut. Kevin Jousset, 4 wins via KO, 4 decision wins. Split decision loss. Oh, got a doctor. Fought Jack Madalena and got stopped. Interesting, okay. And then we've got Kiefer Crosby making his UFC debut. I mean, okay. I thought it was a different Mike Jackson, and I was like, that's not good. Kiefer Crosby, 5 wins via KO, 2 submission victories. I think I'm going to have to go with Kevin in this fight. Probably a fight I'm going to stay away from, but I'm going to roll with Kevin Giussette, minus 162. What are the losses? 1 KO loss, 1 submission loss for Kiefer Crosby, 1 KO loss, 1 decision loss for Kevin Giussette. I mean, I think Giussette's just being put in a spot to show out. It looks like he's fought in Australia before based on the fact that he's went up against Jack Detto Madalena. I think it's Australia or New Zealand, right? Australia. Paul McMahon, New Zealand. Crawwell, New Zealand. So I think he's been being put in a spot to win here. So I'm gonna roll with Kevin Giussette. Money line. Prediction. Decision. Gross split decision. Shane Young taking on Gabriel Miranda. Shane Young hasn't looked real good lately. Came into the UFC and I thought it looked pretty good. Lost to Volkanovski. But yeah, then the Ludovic Klein KO, and then just hasn't looked good. Hasn't been aggressive, has been very cautious when he's been fighting, and it's a little bit strange for a guy with 6 knockout wins. Prior to that Ludovic Klein loss, he had never been knocked out, so he had 6 decision losses. Looking at Gabriel Miranda, 15 submission wins, just lost via KO to Benoit Saint Denis. Ahmed Magomedov is another loss on his record, it looks like. Otherwise, I'm not really seeing anyone stand out, but I mean, Shane Young should have the advantage on the feet in this fight. You can see the bad strike discrepancy for Miranda, landed versus absorbed. Really hittable. Shane Young, he's just been fighting different and has been a lot more cautious. If he doesn't go in there with an aggressive mindset, it could be a really close fight, and maybe Gabriel Miranda gets it to the mat. But I think Shane Young probably wins this fight. I'd say 2 KO losses, just coming off the KO loss to Benoit. I'll go with the knockout for Shane. So Shane Young, minus 125 favorite. Over-under is set at 2.5. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. Shane Young KO or, the Gabriel Miranda decision. Shane Young hasn't been submitted before. I'm trying to think about that Blake Builder fight. I don't know if Blake Builder really had much success grappling against Shane Young. Yeah, 1 of 7 for Blake Builder. So he did a good job after the first one of just avoiding the takedowns, but yeah, lost the strike battle. Just wasn't putting it out there. But I'm gonna roll with Shane Young I think he keeps from taking him down. Eventually finds the knockout shot at plus 250 here. I don't know. I don't even think I'd consider a round robin pick on Shane Young. Maybe the under 2.5 I would consider as a round robin piece, just because I think Shane Young will win via knockout. If he loses, Miranda's got the submission prowess. So maybe that at minus 145 looks kind of good. Mike Diamond, Blood Diamond, taking on Charles Radke. Radke's making his debut. I don't know what fight this is for Blood Diamond, but come on. He's might just be his second. Like, he came in 3-0, lost to Jeremiah Wells, Orion. I mean, he's got to stay on his feet. Radke's coming in here and probably going to have the wrestling advantage. Probably going to be a little bit more aggressive on the feet with the output. But, I mean, Blood Diamond's best chance to win, in my opinion, is it's probably like point fighting against this guy, being able to point fight. I don't think he should get in a brawl. He is a really, really good striker. We know that. But yeah, I don't trust him to avoid takedowns. What's his takedown defense? It says 69%. I don't, at least in his first fight, he just got ragdolled. What happened in this one? Koski. 3 of 8 takedowns. So I just don't really trust him to not get taken down. So I think I'm going to have to go with Charles Radke here. I think if Mike Diamond loses, he's probably getting booted from the UFC. Odds makers agree. They've got Charlie Radke as a heavy favorite. Let's take a closer look at Radke. I mean, lost to Austin Hubbard. I don't know. He's definitely going to push the pace. Like, maybe this is another inside the distance spot for us. But I'm going to go with Radke. I just haven't... I don't blame you if you want to bet on Blood Diamond, though, as an underdog. Because, I mean, he does have incredible striking ability. But, man, when's that going to happen? When Radke slows down? When's that going to happen? Third round, second round, late? Just, if Blood Diamond's going to get wrestled to the ground round 1, I don't want to have my money on him. So I'm going to go with Radke. I'm going to go with Radke submission. Odds makers agree. I like inside the distance as well. If it's not the submission, maybe we could get a KO moment. Like, that might be my hedge in this fight, but I'm going to go with Radke. Probably the under. Fight inside the distance, maybe as a round robin parlay piece. The next fight we've got is Nasrat Haqparast taking on Landon Quinones. Nasrat is coming in. I think he's coming off of a loss. Nope. Coming off of a unanimous decision against Makdessi, but he did take the loss to Dan Hooker and Bobby Green. He's a good boxer, very technical, very good. I'm trying to see when his last. So Drew Dober knocked him out in 2020, and when's that submission loss was 2012. I mean, so Nasrat is definitely not known for the grappling. Um, really good, not known for the grappling at all. He's taking on Landon Quinones. Just on paper, doesn't look like he's going to be interested in grappling. So we could get a good old-fashioned, exciting boxing match in this one. Nasrat's super durable, in my opinion. Yeah, he lost via KO to who's that guy? Drew Dober. But he's super durable, in my opinion. He just needs to, I think, have good output and probably survive whatever this. What is this? A first round knockout streak? Oh, third round, second round, first round, first round. So it's all over the place, but appears to carry good power. But I just think Nasrat's going to be the better striker in this. I'd say Landon would, if he's not going to be the better striker, should probably grapple just because Nasrat is that bad. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to go with Nasrat, heavy favorite, minus 455. I mean, they both have had knockout losses in their careers. If this is a decision, though, like hang in minus 455, if that's what the odds makers think, is this go? I mean, it's a pick 'em basically, but laying minus 455 on Nasrat in that spot seems kind of risky. I mean, fight lines, finish only, decision only. You could do something interesting with Landon maybe in this spot. I like Nasrat to win, but minus 455 money line, I don't know. Might have to look at that and get a little creative if I'm going to bet on it. Like a same game parlay kind of thing. Jamie Malarkey taking on John Makdessi. We just talked about John Makdessi. Oh, that's who Nasrat beat. But Jamie Malarkey, he's coming in here, gets hit an awful lot. I think he was knocked out his last fight. Yeah, Mohamed Jun knocked him out last fight. Very hittable. Yeah, it just always seems to absorb a lot of damage in his fights. He's taking on John Makdessi, who's coming into this. This is second? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. 2010. He's been around since 38. Coming off the loss to Nasrat. Beat Ignacio Bahamondes. Lost to Francisco Trinaldo. Appears to be pretty durable, but 2 knockout losses. Jamie Malarkey, 4 knockout losses. Man, what are we liking here? I think I like Jamie Malarkey, but I mean, John Makdessi just feels like Jamie Malarkey just gets hit an awful lot. He's the heavy favorite, it looks like now, at minus 2. I just dropped my headset. 1 second. That was crazy. Jamie Malarkey taking on John McDessie. When was the last time we saw Jamie Malarkey KO someone? Devontae Smith, Kama Worthy. It's been, I mean, it hasn't been that long. A couple years ago. Man, I just don't know if Nasrat isn't knocking him out, if Trinaldo's not knocking him out. I just don't think I trust Jamie Malarkey to get it done inside the distance. I'm going to roll with Jamie Malarkey here, but like, I think the line has just, McDessie plus 220 looks a little bit better than Malarkey at his line, to be honest. I think it does go the distance. I think Malarkey gets it done by decision. The next fight is Jack Jenkins taking on JP Mariscal. Jack Jenkins, he's coming into this on he might be undefeated so far in the UFC. Contender Series fighter, brutal leg kicks. 2-0 in the UFC. Yeah, just really awful leg kicks. He's taken on Jose, who's coming off of his win against Trevor Peek, his knockout victory. Or was that a decision? No, that was just a wild man. I think Jack Jenkins is going to be a lot more technical than what Jose saw in his first fight, for sure. The leg kicks are just, they're awful. He's got several knockouts and wins via leg kick, just stoppages via leg kick. So they're really hard. They look like they hurt. He has good elbows, good Muay Thai. It just looks really good. I think grappling too. Just seems like a really good fighter. I think this is a big step up in competition for Jose. And so I'm going to roll with Jack Jenkins, minus 205. Man, odds makers like this to go the distance, but Mariscal has 3 knockout losses. Steve Garcia was one of them. Joe Anderson Brito. Man, he's got some good... Wow. He's got some good fights under his belt, actually. It's kind of crazy. But, yeah, I think the leg kicks are just so brutal. I wouldn't put it past Jack to get it done inside the distance here. We haven't seen it yet. I get it, though. So the odds makers like the decision, but I think there's maybe some value on Jenkins via KO, maybe leg kick. You can be super duper durable and tough, but if you're just getting your legs chopped, that's a good way to lose. I like him in a decision potentially too. So give me Jack Jenkins. The next fight we've got is Carlos Ulberg taking on Da Woon Jung. Carlos Ulberg, are these guys... trying to see their streaks. I didn't write it down, so that's why I'm going to Sherdog. Yeah, he's on a 4-fight win streak. And then Da Woon Jung, losing streak. Dustin Jacoby, KO loss, round 1. Devin Clark, yeah, that one was a bad performance. Draw with just so crazy. Beats William Knight, KOs Kennedy Njoku. KO loss to Dustin, looks awful against Devin Clark, and draw against Smilin' Sam. 1 KO loss for Carlos Ulberg was against a common opponent. But Ulberg has looked, really good in his last 3 fights, 3 first-round finishes. Output suggests it's there, but I feel like that's not reflective of what my eyes tell me when I'm watching Ulberg. He definitely just seems very calculated in his approach, and I don't know if he's got a ton of output in him, but he's very dangerous, great kickboxer, great striker, really dangerous. I feel like Da Woon Jung, if he could get this to the mat, it probably would make sense. You can see Ulberg's takedown defense is 100% on paper. I think he's with City Kickboxing. Yeah, and those guys just seem to be excellent at avoiding being grappled. So I'm going to roll with Carlos Ulberg in this fight. Probably a knockout. I do like something inside the distance. Ulberg is the favorite at -285. Odds makers agree this isn't going the distance. The over-under was at 1.5. Ulberg KO -135. Over-under 2.5, 245. Maybe this would be a round robin line for me. You can kind of cover yourself in case Da Woon Jung catches them, but that's probably what I'll be looking at. But looking on Anton Turkalj, Tyson Pedro is coming off of a loss to Modestus Bukauskas. Let's see this guy. Yes. Prior to that, beat Isaac Villanueva, beat Harry Hunsucker, which everyone did. Man, I think he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, has really good kicks. Anton is coming into this fight on a 2-fight losing streak, but that was to Jelton Almeida, Vitor Petrino, who's good. Vitor, he looks really good. I think it's going to come down to whether Tyson Pedro can keep this standing or not. He might want to grapple in this fight, but I think Anton's better there. Anton's persistent with the takedowns. Tyson Pedro gets super tired. I don't know if we've ever seen Anton get finished via knockout. No. He's super tough, durable, kind of crazy. Man, I just feel like Tyson Pedro's the better technical fighter, more technically sound. As long as he can avoid grappling with Anton and not get gassed out, I think he should win this fight. He is a slight underdog. He's basically a pick'em though. Fight props. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. I'd have to agree. I think Anton either gets a submission or Tyson Pedro. I don't know, actually. Anton's so durable. I think there might be a little bit of value on the Pedro decision, to be honest. Decision only, Tyson Pedro plus 100. Maybe I'll look at something like that. Probably going to keep this one out of the round robin and the parlays, though. Justin Tafa taking on Austin Lane. This is a rematch of a fight that was booked recently in Austin Lane. I poked Tafa really, really badly. So the fight got stopped in round 1. These two are knockout artists. They're trying to find their opponent's chins. Let's check out their losses. One knockout loss for Justin Tafa. I forget. I think this guy was like a former football player or something. 3 knockout losses for Austin Lane. Man, I just feel like I didn't really think Austin Lane was doing anything particularly special the last fight. I felt like Justin Tafa was going to catch him and knock him out at some point, and I think my prediction is going to stay the same. I'm definitely elusive. If he's going to start firing off kicks, that's good. But I think when gloves start to connect, I think Tafa is just going to carry a power advantage. Austin Lane definitely was bouncier, is probably a little bit faster. But when it comes to just getting from point A to B with your hand, Tafa is extremely fast and powerful, and I think he probably knocks out Austin Lane. So I'm going to say Justin Tafa in this fight. I like the knockout method of victory, so minus 900, I kind of agree. The knockout method of victory, minus 650. Under 2.5, minus 600. Under 1.5, minus 230. I'd have to go with under 1.5 there. But I'm going to roll with Tafa to probably get the round 1 KO. Manel Kape taking on Felipe Dos Santos. Manel Kape was hilarious at the presser. I thought he had the best moment of the press conference for sure. Just yelling at Kai Kara France, arguing with Izzy. I thought he definitely. He's coming into this fight. I think he's on a 3-fight win streak. He had a tough debut and a tough second fight. Debut was against Pantoja, holding the belt. Then lost a split decision to Nicolau. And then has looked really good since then. Looks like a really good fighter, really, really good striker. Felipe Dos Santos, he's making his UFC debut. He's 7-0. But this is a really tough debut. I think Manel Kape probably wins this fight. I'd say he gets it done inside the distance. Then he's going to call out Kai Kara France, and it's going to be how it's going to play out. So I'm going to roll with Manel. He is the heavy favorite at minus 410, deservedly so. I say the knockout. Odds makers agree. Inside the distance, odds makers also agree. 2 submission losses, 4 decision losses. So we've never seen Manel get knocked out before. So I'm probably going to go, if anything, just with the Manel inside the distance, minus 175. instead of just doing inside the distance minus 280, I really don't think Dos Santos is going to finish Manel. Maybe it's a decision, but yeah, I'd feel comfortable doing maybe Manel minus 175 to win via KO or submission. Just basically covering inside the distance. The next fight we've got is Tai Tuivasa taking on Alexander Volkov. Tai's coming off of a loss, right? Yeah. So, I mean, he had two back-to-back very tough fights. Cyril Gane, Sergey Pavlovich. Lost via KO to both of those guys. I mean, the dude carries incredible power. He was on a 5 fight knockout streak. Knocked out Derek Lewis with a beautiful elbow. But just carries really, really good punching power. He's taking on Alexander Volkov, who's on a 2-fight win streak. Also knocked out a couple of opponents. I mean, it's a heavyweight fight. I think this one spells out inside the distance. And if it's inside the distance, I think Volkov unders at 1.5 rounds. I like the under. Minus 330 fight doesn't go the distance. I like the Tai Tuivasa KO. Volkov, they like the KO on his side, which I'd have to agree with, but I'm just going with the dog pick. If it's going to be a round 1 KO, I think anyone could win, you know? And then we've got the main event here. We've got Israel Adesanya taking on Sean Strickland. I saw a crazy promo, and I got to share it with y'all. You could build a parlay, and there's a parlay boost. Israel Adesanya to beat Sean Strickland, boosted to plus 100. Like, what? What is getting cooked up? You know what I mean? Izzy's the minus 600 favorite. I wonder what the max bet is. I'm logged in on my phone. I'll check it out. So anyways, you got Israel Adesanya coming off the win of Alex Pereira. Got the knockout. Got revenge. Got his belt back. The max wager is $25. So you get a free 25 basically. So this is going to be a really tough fight for Sean Strickland, who just seems to kind of cover up and just want to brawl with fighters. I feel like Israel's done a great job with a variety of different types of fighters, very dangerous fighters. Izzy's just better, right? I think Strickland could definitely compete, and if he could get a takedown or two, that's great. But Strickland's not. We didn't see Vettori get takedowns against Izzy. We didn't see Whitaker get takedowns against Izzy. I don't think we're going to see Sean get any takedowns. So this is going to be fought primarily on the feet. Sean's super tough. But Israel's, very accurate and capable of knocking out Sean. I just would be shocked if Sean Strickland won this fight. I wouldn't be upset other than I'll probably have money riding on Israel Adesanya to win via KO. And I'm just thinking back to the Pereira fight. Let's look at his... Pereira carries definitely good power, but so does Izzy. 5 losses, 2 KO losses. Pereira, some spinning wheel kick shit. I mean, Sean, he's very reactive with his hands too. I could see like a head kick KO victory for Israel Adesanya. I mean, Sean's a fun fighter, entertaining fighter. Glad he's getting his opportunity, but I just think Israel Adesanya's a little bit better. And I think the type of fight Sean Strickland probably wins is just putting this fight in a phone booth like Calvin Gastelum and just exchanging with Izzy, right? Taking one to give one, and just getting beat up really, really bad. And I think eventually Israel's going to catch Sean with something. I'm even hesitant to like say it's going to be a decision or inside the distance. Oh, sorry, I think it's going to be inside the distance, but I'm hesitant to like even go over a round and a half, just in case he gets caught. But he does have good cardio. He's a guy who just seems like practices, trains for fighting by just like fighting every day. And he's definitely a tough dude, but I think Israel's just going to find the button at some point in this fight and knock him out. So I'm going to go with Izzy KO minus 105 here. So that concludes our picks and predictions for UFC 292. As always, we got to go into trending topics. Germany beat Team USA today. That was crazy. Ben Sheldon lost to Djokovic. I put a little bit on Ben Sheldon. He got his butt whooped. He's going to be really good, though. Yeah, probably football. Oh, I did do a fantasy draft. Actually, I got to show you all this. Just how crazy this stupid website is. What is this called? So we're not doing Yahoo. We're not doing... I think it's... We're not doing ESPN. We're not doing Draftkings. No, we're doing real-time fantasy sports. And this... I'm just logging into it. I don't need you to... I don't need you to, okay. Alright, here we go. Oops. Yeah, so... What am I supposed to do? Oh, wow. Dude, that's sick. So you're facing an opponent every week, but you can challenge other teams. Wow. And like bet them money over this. That is so cool. I gotta send this to my buddy who's in the league. Let's see this. Let me pull this up. That's cool. But yeah, this is the platform. Let's see. Like, this is the lineup page. It's got some... I think they have all this stuff in the RT Sports. Reach out to me for you could sponsor, but I think the other apps have this as well. I don't want to damage a potential relationship here, but I'm using RT Sports, Real Time Sports. And we were able to connect with like some random people, just put down a wager for the season long year. I'd love to show you. Oh, here we go, the draft room. So this is how the draft page looked, but something cool they had was, let's see if I can get this pulled up. There we go. So we have this chart of the draft essentially here, and you could just like follow along with it, and it kind of had more of like that live draft feel for sure. I ended up with the third pick, took McCaffrey, got Cup on the turn, then decided to take, I'm trying to think, so it came back this way, then this way, took Devontae Smith. In retrospect, I probably would have gone the Joe Mixon or Aaron Jones route, but it's okay. Maybe I could get one of those two running backs at some point this year, because then I just went back-to-back wide receiver again, so 4 straight wide receivers. I really wanted Calvin Ridley. I missed out on St. Brown and Garrett Wilson, in the second round, but ended up with Cup, which is, even though he's hurt, it's just kind of sick to get Cup with the, what is that, twink? And then I had to take Keenan Allen because I think Mike Williams was already off the board, and I just think Keenan Allen was hurt last year and is going to be real productive. Scooped up the Bears backfield, all 3 running backs, Khalil, Foreman, and Roshan. Took Zeke. I think he's going to have some touchdown prowess on the Patriots. And then took Elijah Mitchell just to back up McCaffrey. Ended up with Watson and Jones as my QBs. I wanted Kincaid and Laporta at tight end, but ended up with Kincaid and Komet, which is cool. And then you had to take a kicker in a defense. So it was a late draft. It was fun though, and so this is my team this year. Oh, should I do the Sunday shows too? Yeah, we might have to get the Sunday show going again. Dang, I'm pretty sure I have a template saved. Maybe I don't for football. It's probably something I should work on. I might need to, maybe I just use the same one. But anyways, yeah, to be honest, the trending stuff just, it's a little crazy. What? The US government is trending? Oh, Jesus. Ew. That was Hunter Biden. Why is he on Twitter, like a picture of him shirtless with a little girl? That's weird. Elon, basically it came out that Ukraine requested that Elon extend their internet capabilities to, Elon didn't want to do that because he felt like it would have been a great escalation in the war, and yeah, so he didn't want to do that. So he did not turn out. I mean, and he's just providing free internet over there in Ukraine. But yeah, he didn't want to be directly responsible for a major instigating attack. Pearl Harbor is trending. Man, who's David from? David from where? The U.S. government also uses Starlink facilities for northern security purposes under a slightly different contract regime. But how confident can Americans be that Elon Musk won't sabotage or protect U.S. defense operations for his own ego or political purposes? So it's been already confirmed that he did not turn off Starlink. He just didn't extend it beyond the borders of Ukraine. So I don't know. He seems like someone, if they pop up on my timeline, I'll probably just have to mute them. Just for not being very educated. What's going on in the Ripple case? I hold so much Ripple. I don't know. Who cares? Alright, maybe we'll go live Sunday to do football, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's win some money on Saturday. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter. Send me a note if you want to talk picks tomorrow. UFC 293. Best of luck to everyone. Have a good night. Happy Friday.